The moment we're watching this soap in London, UK, Emmerdale, there's this man, Rishi, who had kept a promise, a family promise, all these years. And finally, he broke that promise. Watch this.
Your grandmother, when she learned the truth, don't you understand? I made a promise to her, on my honor, that this would never come out.
No disrespect, Dad, but Grandma has been dead for 30 years.
That's not the point.
Isn't it?
You make a promise like that, you take it to the grave. And I've broken it.
By the end of that episode, Rishi had died. It appears he fell down the stairs or he was pushed, but on the day he broke that family promise was the day he died. Maybe when he was making the promise, he said on his honor, until he dies. You heard it there. He said a man should take it to his grave. And you see, he died on the same day. So we need to be careful when we talk, when we speak. Some years ago, a woman was in a relationship with this guy whom she loved dearly. Things were going okay until she fell pregnant. That's when the guy's true colors reared its ugly head. He told her he was no longer interested in the relationship. He said, "What about the baby?" And he said, "So what?" So he left. She had to drop her off school. Her parents kicked her out of home. She lost her friends. It was really hard for her. But she went through the pregnancy alone. She suffered. She was living out on scraps and handouts. She had her baby alone deep in the forest because she could not afford any medical fees or anything. After she had that baby, a boy, she cursed the man, the biological father of her kid, and said he would never have any children of his own apart from that one. And if she ever forgives him, she will die. She made that curse and she went on, things started getting better. She was able to sponsor her kid in school. She got a job. Things started looking up for her. Many years later, she received a visitor one day at home. It was her ex, the father of her son. He came with this woman, came begging. He'd been married for years and they cannot have a baby. They've been everywhere, the best doctors, been abroad, everywhere. She could not have a baby. And then a prophet told him about the curse. And he remembered what he had done. So he had been looking for that woman everywhere and eventually tracked her down. He begged. His wife was on her knees, sobbing and begging, pleading for her to forgive the man. She refused. She said she would never forgive him. The man should get up and get out before she calls the police. They begged and begged and begged, pleaded. And then her son came home. She told the son who that man was. The son told the mom to forgive him. She's now a Christian. She's a born-again Christian. Forgive his dad. The woman refused. But after a long time, she decided to forgive the man. She said, "I forgive you. And I remove every curse I have placed on your life." She went into the bathroom where she slumped and she died because she did say that if she ever forgave him, she would lose her life, and she died. That was the end of her. That's why the Bible says we should be careful about vows and promises. It's better not to make a vow than to make it and not keep it. It's better not to make a promise and break it. Even the Bible says, what's that verse? That a man's heart is dejected if you make a promise and you don't keep it. I remember when I was a little girl, my dad promised to buy me a school bag because I was carrying my books in some tattered carrier bag. He said he would buy me a school bag. He told me how good that school bag was and that it would be at home when I get back from school. The whole day in school, true story, all I could think of was that bag. Even I told my friends, tomorrow you're going to see me with a new school bag. Tomorrow, you see what excites little kids. I was so excited. Rushed home. "Dad, where's the bag?" He said, "Oh, sorry, Tina, I forgot. You'll be here tomorrow and here tomorrow and here tomorrow." I never did get that bag. I never got it even till date. All these years later, I've never forgotten that bag. So the Bible talks about that, like when you promise and you don't fulfill it, it makes one's heart dejected. I will look for the Bible verse and put it so you can read it. So it's better not to make a vow. Some people just make vows rashly, make promises rashly. You remember Jephthah in the Bible. He told God that if he wins that battle, if he's successful, whatever comes out first to greet him or when he goes back home, he will sacrifice it to God. He thought an animal will come out first, maybe a donkey or a cow, a goat, but it was his only daughter. She came out first with tambourine, dancing, rejoicing that her dad had won the battle. He said, "Ah, alas, what have you done to me?" That was his only child. Besides her, the Bible said he had no other, and he had to fulfill the vow he made. If he hadn't made the vow, God can still give him success. That's why we need to be very, very careful what we say. Very, very, very careful, because we don't know our words are powerful. You make a curse on your kid because they've done something wrong. When it starts happening, it's you, the mom, who will be rushing up and down looking for solutions for that kid because you said it out of anger. You said it out, rashly. So guys, James 5 tells us, do not swear by heaven or earth. Let your yes be yes, let your no be no. Don't swear, don't curse, don't vow, don't promise. If you do, keep it. Even sometimes in church, when we're doing some harvest or Thanksgiving or fundraising, they'll tell people, if you have £100, come forward. If you have £50, come forward. People will go. They will write down their names. They never pay. The church will be at the end of the day. The church will now total everything and say, okay, today we raised 50,000. Everybody will clap. They're lucky if they get 10,000 out of that money. I sit down in my chair. I'm not going to go forward and say I'm going to give you £1,000 if I can't afford it. There's no shame in sitting down, but you come out, you vow big. I will pay this, I will pay that. When it comes time to redeem your vow, you can't. So please, guys, let's be careful how we talk. God bless.